24 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news is happening on Detroit's east side. That's where police fired shots at a woman during an altercation over a car being repossessed.
Let's show you where this is happening. A home on Nottingham Road, right in the area of 94 and Cadju. Police are still there recovering shell casings. And Victor Williams is live at the scene working to get the very latest information.
Victor, what have you learned so far?
Well, Ty and Kimberly, we know that this woman is expected to be okay after being shot multiple times by police. You can look right behind me and then see all the evidence markers out there. There are a lot of shells out there on the ground. But now we're learning more about what led to this taking place. As you guys said, it was right before 3 p.m. when a repo man was repossessing her car. And instead of asking questions, we're told that she pulled out a gun and decided to shoot first, thinking that he was stealing it. Now, the repo man was not hit, it appears, but officers were in the area. They saw the woman firing towards the truck, and after asking her to drop it without much compliance, officers decided to then start firing at her, striking her multiple times. So she has been taken to the hospital. The chief says she's going to be just fine. In the meantime, it's a very long stretch of Nottingham that will more than likely stay closed off as this investigation continues. There are two scenes here in the street. We have where the actual shots were fired, and then we have where the repo truck actually stopped his truck after being shot at. So unfortunately, here in Metro Detroit, we have had multiple officer-involved shootings recently, but thankfully, in this case, no one was killed. We're going to be staying on top of it to learn more information, of course. In the meantime, we are reporting live on the east side. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Okay, Victor, keep us posted. Thank you.
All right, now to our other top story here at 5. The numbers paint the picture for you. More and more people are trying to run from police in Macomb County. Back in 2019, there were 226 fleeing and eluding cases. That's a lot alone. But fast forward to 2024, that number has almost doubled with 403. And so far in 2025, yeah, there have been 139, right on track for 403 for the year. Now the Macomb County prosecutor says he has a plan to get that trend to change. Let's get out to Will Jones live tonight with how this plan is going to work. Will.
Ty, no more plea bargains for people charged with fleeing and eluding. Macomb County Prosecutor Peter Lucido is fed up with drivers who take off from police and put innocent lives in danger. He's also calling on state lawmakers to step up and take a tougher approach on this felony offense. In response to the rise in the number of fleeing and eluding cases in Macomb County, Prosecutor Peter Lucido is saying no more plea deals.
If you come to Macomb and you want to flee the police, be prepared not to get a plea bargain because it's not happening anymore.
Local 4 reached out to Lucido's counterparts in Wayne and Oakland counties about their approaches to fleeing and eluding cases. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office saying that it looks at the facts and evidence in each case to determine a just result. We're awaiting a response from the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office. Lucido believes more must be done to warn drivers thinking about pressing the gas instead of pulling over. He's pushing for mandatory sentencing legislation. Currently, fleeing and eluding can result in 2 to 15 years in prison.
We need to put stricter penalties in place.
Lucido pointed to this recent high-profile Warren police chase as a reason why change is needed. On May 24th, 71-year-old Wendy Drew was struck and killed by a driver fleeing officers. A spokesperson for Warren Police says the department supports Lucido's efforts.
In law enforcement, we take pursuits very seriously, as we should be. Prosecutor Lucido is asking the judges and the courts and the criminal justice system to do the same.
So what's next? Lucido is going to meet with state lawmakers to get the ball rolling in Lansing. It's important to mention we did reach out to a Michigan criminal justice reform organization for a response, but they had no one available to speak today. We are live in Warren. Will Jones, Local 4.
Yeah, when you see those numbers of how many people are trying to get away from police, you can understand their concern. Well, thank you. Now to our other top story here at 5 tonight, and there is just one lone survivor of a large passenger jet crash in India. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, this was a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It had just taken off from northwest India and was en route to London when it crashed shortly after takeoff. Compounding matters, the jet crashed in a heavily populated area, and it was full of fuel when it went down. NBC's Matt Bodner is in London tonight.
Thank you. Well, really an astonishingly positive development in this deeply tragic story. Indian media and our international partner Sky News have confirmed that there is one accounted for survivor at this time. He is a British national, a man. We believe that he's about 40 years old, and Sky is reporting that his name is Vishwar Kumar Ramesh. They spoke to his family. They say that they have another family member who they believe was aboard that flight that they have not yet heard from. The Hindustan Times, meanwhile, has spoken to a man of the same name, of the same age, who had a ticket in that name, and quote him as saying, quote, 30 seconds after takeoff, there was a loud noise and then the plane crashed. It all happened so quickly. The newspaper says that he is being treated now for injuries sustained to his chest, eyes, and feet. Now, I think his account of what happened, of course, is going to be very important in the hours, days, weeks moving forward as the official investigation starts to look at what happened here today and share some of its findings. As things stand, we have heard nothing official from investigators, though aviation experts working with NBC News as well as commenting elsewhere have started to hone in potentially on signs seen in some of the videos of the crash that would indicate that the plane was not flying normally for that stage of flight, for that flight regime, so to speak, leading to some speculation the flaps were not fully deployed, which could have led to this crash, though it is important to emphasize there is no official information at this time suggesting any cause one way or another. Matt Bodner, NBC News, London.
Hey, Matt, thank you. And that plane that crashed was a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. The model was first delivered in 2011, and as of last month, 1,189 Dreamliners have been put into service. This is the first time one has crashed.
Back here, northbound I-75 is back open after a deadly crash shut down parts of the roadway for hours earlier today. It was a motorcyclist who went down near Grand River after being rear-ended by a Chevy Trailblazer. The impact caused the rider to lose control and crash, and also flip the SUV. The motorcyclist did not survive. No word on the condition of the other driver or if any charges will be filed in the case.
Now to Macomb County, the sheriff there says they've arrested 2 juveniles in connection to a string of Kia thefts. Kias are frequently targeted because of security flaws. It's something the automaker said would be fixed with a software update, but it seems that might not be the case. So let's get out to our Noelle Friel. She's live tonight. Noelle, what can you tell us about the case?
Yeah, that's right. The sheriff's office says that one of those Kias was stolen right off of this street. We're here on Petite Drive at Westbridge Manor Mobile Home Park in Macomb Township. Detectives tracked down one of those stolen vehicles and arrested those 2 teens, only for them to end up out of jail that same night. The investigation started when the Macomb County Sheriff's Office received reports of 4 Kias that were stolen and 2 that were attempted stolen from Westbridge Manor in Macomb Township and Aspen Creek Apartments in Chesterfield Township.
Within just a week's time frame.
Commander Jason Abro says thefts like this are extremely common.
It's very easy to break into a Kia. They break into the ignition column. And then at some point they use a device to start the vehicle.
On Monday, detectives spotted one of those stolen vehicles and followed the car through several cities before it stopped in front of a home in Clinton Township. 3 teens were in the car, 2 were arrested, and the other fled the scene. A judicial officer decided not to house the teens in jail, and they were released to their parents. Commander Abro says it's frustrating to see light punishments for a crime that spiraled out of control.
Our message would be obviously to ask judges and ask referees to continue with high bonds. We're seeing a lot where these individuals get released back into the community and they're committing the same type of crime.
He says the best thing Kia and Hyundai owners can do is purchase a steering wheel lock. While it's not a foolproof solution, it might give pause to would-be thieves.
This is within seconds. They're trying to break into a vehicle, trying to take that vehicle, and that's a big deterrent.
It's something Kia and Hyundai owners in this neighborhood are now considering after learning this viral trend had hit close to home.
I mean, right now, as soon as we get off this interview, I'm pretty sure I'll be ordering or going to the store and buying one for sure.
And only one of those stolen vehicles has been recovered so far. Live in Macomb Township, Noelle Friel, Local 4.
Yeah, Noelle, although these teens were released for now, it seems like they're still facing serious charges.
Yeah, that's right. Those teens are being charged with unlawfully driving away an automobile, which I'm told is a serious felony offense that carries up to 5 years in prison. Kimberly.
Yeah, okay, Noelle, we appreciate it.
All right, let's move on to the forecast today and a live look outside here at the downtown skyline from our Windsor Sky Cam. We've seen both the sun and some rain so far today, as promised, and we are in the heart of graduation party season, as you know, so there's a lot going on outside.
It really is. So let's get over to Kim Adams and a look at how things are shaping up heading into the weekend. Hi, Kim.
Hi. Well, don't cancel your outdoor plans just yet, but I always say when you have a graduation party, wedding, anything like that, you always have to have this time of year a plan B. If it's a graduation party, clean your house because you might have people in it. But this weekend, I can tell you the forecast is really improving, so don't cancel anything. There'll be plenty of dry times this weekend, especially on Father's Day. But right now, we've got temps that are anywhere from 71 in Mount Clemens all the way up to 77 out in Jackson. But what a far cry it is from where we were yesterday as we look at the 24-hour temperature change. Right now, it is 20 degrees cooler in Port Huron than it was at 5:10 yesterday. 16 degrees cooler in Mount Clemens. So definitely headed in the wrong direction today as we were in the 80s yesterday and now again only in the low to mid 70s. So coming up, we'll talk more about that weekend forecast. And if you have a pool, we'll talk about when you can finally use it coming up.
All right, Kim, thanks.